How you doing? Hey, today I've been messing with the Homelight Super XL Auto that I did some port work to, and I'm planning on sending to Simple Man. You see, I did a test run. I was getting ready to send a saw out to him. I did a test run, and the saw was running horribly. So I let it sit for a little while, ended up at a different place, decided to give it another test run, and it was still running horribly. So I'm sitting here right now. I'm actually working on it. But I wanted to show you some footage of how one of these saws run when they're not running correctly. It was actually an air leak. Could be more, but I'm pretty certain it was an air leak. So I got that fixed, and I swapped out the carburetor. I don't know. I wasn't so pleased with the carburetor that was in it. It was just a little finicky. So I put a bigger carburetor in it. The carb in it now is from an 82cc Homelight. So it should hopefully perform a little better. What else? I think that's about it. I had a horrible test run, and had to do some fixes. I've done some other fixes too. Here, let me show you the saw. It's sitting in front of me. So there she is, the old Super XL monster that I built. You'll notice that it has an oil cap down here and one up top. The fuel tank developed a leak right out the bottom of the fuel tank, so I swapped it out with a tank off an XL12. It gives you 2 oil caps, but only this one is functional. I guess if I wanted to, I could figure out a way to plumb it in, but I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to leave it as an empty tank. It's not going to be used anymore. See it? So I had that issue, and you can see here I melted some plastic on the muffler. That'll burn off pretty quick. What else? I've been putting a gasket in under the air filter to help prevent fines from getting in there. Well, let me give you a little update there. So I've tried cork, and cork works really well if you cut it out and put it in there as a gasket. The problem with cork is over a long period of time, it does shrink. So you'll have to replace it periodically. I've also tried like this foam type of material. It works pretty much the same as the cork, except it doesn't last as long. You get some shrinkage out of it that, it doesn't last very long. So what else have I tried here? I've tried a rubber. I've cut rubber out to put in there and motor sealed it in place and everything. And I found that it was too stiff. Like, it would work on some saws, but not others. So it's because of how the air filter cover seats up against the air filter itself. Some of them have a nice flat spot, and some of them have like pins. And the ones with pins, they don't like the hard rubber. They don't seat up very well. So I'm trying something else on this one, and good old-fashioned Scotch-Brite. You see it in there? I just cut some Scotch-Brite out, and that's what I'm using. The Scotch-Brite is cut out through the whole center. It's basically a big hole with the air filter sitting on top, and then, that's kind of how I have it set up now. So that's what I'm getting ready to try with this setup. I think this is going to be our winner. Scotch-Brite seems to be a good substitute for in the airbox area for some reason. It seems to be my go-to item. I'm going to show you something else here. So whenever I put the carb swap on, you'll see the jets are a little different. So the original low speed circuit, I put some motor seal in the hole. I had to drill out a new spot for the low speed, and in the high speed circuit, because it's so small, I cut a little piece of fuel line just to get in there. Kind of worked like a bushing to help seal it up better. So if you decide to go this route, this is what I did. But I'm pretty certain that carb is off of a 925. And that's what I'm going with. I had to do more than that though. The throttle linkage is different. Or should I say the throttle, whatever, rod on the carburetor is different than on the 925 and the Super XL. So I swapped the rods out from one carburetor to the other. That way they would work. The hole for the linkage is at a different spot on the rod where it hooks up to control, you know, the rod. So I just swapped the whole rod out, that way it'd be the same. And that's about it, I think. Ready to give it another test run. I had to replace the seal on the clutch side here, or the PTO side. I didn't check the one on the flywheel side. Probably should have, but it's late and I'm going to get ready for bed. So I'll probably end up giving it a test run before I get the chance to even look at possibly replacing that seal. But that's what I did. Carb swap and a new seal over here. Now, if you stuck around this long in the video, you're going to get to see some cutting. It's not going to be great cutting though. You're going to get to see this saw running with an air leak. It's two different locations because I tested at one location and I was like, man, does this thing really have an air leak? I was at another location. I was like, you know what, let's try it again just in case. And it still ran like poop. So yeah, you're going to get to see some cutting here from two locations of this saw. You get to see what it runs like when it has an air leak. These Homelite Super XL autos do not like it when they have an air leak. They are severely underpowered. You can't tune them, and all sorts of stuff. So here you're going to get to see a video of the saw with a leak. And then the next time I take it out, you'll get to hopefully I got it fixed, but hopefully you'll get to see the saw running correctly. So here you go. Here's some video of the saw in wood and running with an air leak. Alrighty. Alright, so there you go. There's a Homelite Super XL Auto that I ported, and it's running like poop because we got an air leak. Now, hopefully I got her fixed, so the next time we got some good video for you. Alrighty, hey, we'll catch you on the next one. Later.